Hello, this is Terrell Pauly with LearnHealthcareIT.com. And today I wanted to talk to you about, wanted to pose the question to you actually about what would be a good subject or a good area of a good field to actually get into, a good field of study. And by of course, if you know the title, the name of my business, my site, and you can already assess what that is, and also the title of my YouTube channel. But I believe that a good field area to get into is healthcare IT. So now, well, why? But now the question is why? Why is that? So, so I wanted to talk to you about my just I jotted down a few notes about why I think that healthcare IT is a good field to get into. It's for you to get into if you're thinking about healthcare IT, or you're thinking about a new field to get into. So, and I wanted to talk to you about that. So now why? So the first point is so why healthcare IT? Because it's healthcare IT is happening now. It's what's in the now. What's going on right now. It's not the past. It's not like for instance, and no offense to anybody who's like maybe like manufacturing. You know how they used to say like manufacturing used to be U.S. bound, in the states, and then manufacturing companies they decide because I guess they could either get workers cheap or they can get better tax benefits or whatever have you. They decided to move manufacturing out from outside of the U.S. to different countries, and and these manufacturing places that actually were like in some of these small towns or cities or medium to bit large size cities. They uprooted, um, displaced the actual manufacturing workers that used to work there. And now and now they're pretty much kind of put a real dent in the economy for that city or state. Like for instance, something like manufacturing, like for in the automotive industry, for like in Detroit, what happened in Detroit like many years ago, when all of the car manufacturers used to be right there in Detroit. You know, people, a lot of people who lived there in Detroit or the surrounding cities, they had good work, you know, probably nice paying jobs, worked a lot of hours. But then at some point, when these automotive companies decided to uproot and go and move their business, their operations elsewhere, it put the city of Detroit in, one of the reasons, put the city into distress. One of the reasons why Detroit wasn't, ended up being in distress. So with with IT, with healthcare IT, it's what's happening now. It's what's going on. Like right now, like so they have, you can go to school for to be a doctor. You can go to school, to be a nurse. You can go to school for IT. Different types of IT subfields within IT. Networking, PC technician. They have certifications for IT, but for as far as I know, there's not like schools that actually that have curriculum specifically for informatics, which is pretty much like healthcare IT. They may have some. I haven't checked recently, but there's not like it's not like booming to where the point to where it's all over the place as far as going to school for a trend, because it's still kind of pretty much new, I would say. I mean, I would say that I've been in this space now since 2005. So 13 years. It's 2018 right now as I record this video. So I would say that I mean, even when I first, 13 years ago, that's but back then it was pretty much people who I've talked to. They were like, "Well, what do you do? What is it? Healthcare IT? I know a little, something about IT, but healthcare IT, you do what? What's the PAX? What's a risk? Okay, so they don't know. So I mean, it's what's happening now. So that's point number one. So point number two, I like to make why healthcare IT is a good field to get into, is because it doesn't take you years to get started. Like how you can go to school for, say, if you wanted to be a doctor or any specialized discipline where you have to go to school for like but more than 4 years, like 8, 10 years, something to be like a physician or like a radiologist or something like. Or, I mean, we need these types of disciplines, but you don't have to spend that much time or those many years trying to study to learn healthcare IT. As a matter of fact, if you already know IT, or if you already know a form of healthcare from the clinical side, then you're already in a good position. If you know both, then you're in a great position actually. So, I mean, you don't even have to go to school for, per se, to learn IT. You can learn it from online courses, kind of try to find material on the internet, and even with they do have actually a couple of certifications for like healthcare IT that can be taken, but to my knowledge, you have to already kind of have experience in the field to be able to go take one of these certifications. So so that's number two, is that. And so number three is that why I believe that healthcare IT is a good field to get into is because healthcare will always be needed, right? Unfortunately, we're going to always have sick people. We're always going to have people that are, people get old, their bodies break down, they have to go to the hospital, they have to get the procedures done. I mean, it's just a circle of life. It's part of life. You have to go visit the doctor, the physician, and you have to have things done. And healthcare will always be a part of our lives, right? It's always going to be a part of our lives. So healthcare is not going anywhere. And healthcare is local, and as far as ways you want it to be. Healthcare is the nearest hospital in the city that you live in. What do you call those physician care? If you have any physician care places that are not hospitals, but physician care places that are in your city, you have healthcare is always going to be needed. Another point along the same lines that I'd like to make is that IT is always going to be needed, right? I mean, it's as we move more and more forward, toward. I mean, as the more years pass by, the more technically driven our society is, right? From everything from the size of our we have like computers in our phones. We have from where it used to be, we used to have these big monstrosity, maybe big large desktops. Now we have small miniature tablets, laptops, whatever, what have you, things of that nature. The more that we move on in that same advances in technology, they're also spilling over to in the healthcare industry. Now, in the healthcare industry, they seem to be moving a little slow, right? They're kind of like something like maybe like the government. not as slow as the government, but they're kind of slow. So they're still getting around. Like they're even some places they're. I mean, hopefully not, but I know when I was doing um, some of my consulting, or not consulting, but yeah, kind of for the work that I do, consulting work, implementation work. Some customers were actually still dealing with like analog, as far as how they look at they were just getting out of analog, as far as like how they look, how the doctors and the radiologists, how they look at images. Nowadays, everything is digital, but some hospitals in some small cities was just now like getting around to stop using analog, where they actually have where the technician, they have to take the scan of the patient, and the films. They actually print the films out on a film printer, and the radiologist comes back and hangs them up on a film in a film box, so they can actually read the diagnosis for the images of the patient that way. I mean, some small hospitals were just getting transitioning from that to digital, starting to implement digital. Like we were there, with my company that I work for, there to try and transition them out of that analog state. So it's I mean, it's just to the point that just stands to the point to how early we are in this area. And so so IT, IT will always be needed. And so then when you combine the two together, you have healthcare IT. It's perfect. It's like a perfect combination, and it's a great, and I believe, just based on my experiences, it's a great field to be in. Let me see. So point four, I'm sorry, point five. Excuse me. So point five is the pay is good. I would say that you can make some good money in healthcare IT, because in general, so why is that per se? Because you can, in general, in IT in general, depending on what type of IT job you have, you can make good money in IT alone. Depending on what kind of job you have in healthcare, you can make, of course, if you're like a doctor or something like that, or things of that nature, a radiologist, or a registered nurse, something like, things of that nature, you're going to make good money. You're going to make great money, actually. But if you want to save time, not trying to study to be a doctor, and you have a knack for, a liking for IT, healthcare IT, you can make good money. You can make good money like you would in IT. So, and I know this based off experience, my experiences, and so and some of that can come into play as far as like where you work at, how big is your city that you live in, your town, your area. And of course, that comes into play, your local area. But you can definitely make good money, and you will be needed. Hospitals and these types of facilities will need you. Will need you to help manage, implement, and support their healthcare IT systems. So, and they're willing to, in some places, are willing to pay what you should, what you're worth, or what your discipline demands. So let me actually correct that here, so I can. So where are we at here? So that was point number. Was that point number 5? All right. So I want to say, so point number 6, why is healthcare IT a good field for you to get into? So if you enjoy helping others, then this is a good field for you to get into. For me, I enjoy helping others. I and you have to know that when you're dealing with IT, if you have IT experience already, then you know that when you're dealing with IT, you have to have, you're going to talk to people who have different levels of IT knowledge. So when you're speaking to somebody who doesn't really know IT, you can't really talk like you can't really speak like IT jargon. You have to know how to adapt your conversation, your communication with whom you're talking to. Like if you're talking to a manager per se, or a manager, then maybe the manager, if he's not a technical manager, then he's not going to know. He probably won't know. He or she won't know IT really. So you want to just talk more on a general level. You have to know how to modify your communication. But if you enjoy helping others, like that's what I enjoy. So I enjoy actually helping out somebody who needs help with their IT. With their laptop, with their computer, and they need help. And with the system that they're using within their healthcare IT system, they need help doing stuff. I enjoy it, so it makes me satisfied when I'm able to help somebody out. Help somebody out with their problems. So for me, that's why healthcare IT was a good fit. And if you enjoy helping people, then it'll be this field will also be a good fit for you. And then lastly, if you enjoy tinkering with gadgets, if you enjoy fixing things, if you enjoy implementing when it kind of surrounds technology, if you're already kind of like you do it outside of if you do it on your own, you find yourself doing it when you're at home or somewhere else. If you enjoy like those types of things, then generally you're gonna love healthcare IT. If you like sitting at a computer sometimes, depending on what type of IT. Well, if you're doing healthcare IT, it kind of depends on the type of job that it is within healthcare IT. If you like sitting at a computer or you like traveling around, being more mobile. I mean, and just dealing with different types of systems, information systems. This is a good fit for you. So these are the reasons why I believe that healthcare IT is a good field to get into. Pardon me. Like I'll say again that I've been in this space now for over 13 years. I have enjoyed it tremendously. I've gained a lot of experiences, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of, specialized knowledge that is not really, you have to really be in it to learn it, to know it. It's not really, again, it's not like widely taught in like schools, I would say, but it has been really satisfying for me from my experiences. And then so that's the reason why you want to actually I think healthcare IT is a good field to get into. It's a great field to get into if you're thinking about doing it. I would seriously consider it. If you have any if you have any additional questions or any additional information that you'd like to know, you can actually head on over. If you haven't already taken my, I actually have a free course that you can take on how to get started in healthcare IT. You can head on over. You can head over to starthealthcareit.com. That's starthealthcareit.com, and that'll give you an introduction to how to get started and to get started. And then also, if you already completed that, or if you've already taken that free course, I also have another course where you can go to where I teach you if you're looking to get into it. Again, I have the experience, and I know how to and I can teach you to and what you need to know in order to get started, so you could experience all this fun in this adventure. For that, you can head over to learnhealthcareIT.com. That's learnhealthcareIT.com, and I have a course on, and I go through actually, training modules and what you need to learn in order to get started with in order to get to learn healthcare IT. So if you want to, check those things out. But thank you. My name is Terrell Pauly with learnhealthcareIT.com. Until next time, take care.